Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Tristcast. I'm your host, Tristan Dario, and I invite you to sit back, relax, catch a vibe, and enjoy the show. Hey y'all, take a moment before you get settled. Follow the Tristcast and leave a rating. Alright, I'll see you in today's episode. Peace. And I think we are good, getting all set up here. Don't have a stand yet, but we're getting there, we're slowly upgrading. I am just messing stuff up here. I am. There. I think that works. Yeah. How is it going, everyone? Give me a moment. I am making sure, everything is good to go. We got, okay. All right, so, I feel like this is still tapped in enough. Hello. We're in a new spot. We just keep on meeting in new places, and I mean, it's not always a new place. It will be a new place a lot in the future, but what I'm trying to get at is I'm back in the Midwest. This is a new spot that I'm in. You get a little bit of where I'm at. You get to see, I don't know what all you get to see. We're still using the iPhone as a means to get this out to everybody, but funny enough, I was trying to record and I was trying to do the podcast much earlier, but I found myself diving into so many creative things. I went into CapCut. I started editing. I started going in. I posted a TikTok. I did this. I did that. I was just learning how to use Ableton because I want to change how I do my podcast. I want to use a different DAW so then I can record multiple inputs rather than just recording myself. A lot of the people that I talk to when I'm doing my podcast, or like when I talk to them about my podcast, they ask me how I record my audio and stuff like that, and I tell them, like, these are the things I deal with when I'm, trying to record with other people. And one thing that you can't do with GarageBand is you can't record two inputs at the same time. What's going to happen is you're going to have mono audio. So you'll have one input just recording on the left side of the speaker, and then you'll have the other audio of the other person talking on the right side. And for me, that bothers me because it's just like a sensitivity thing when it comes to audio for me. And so that is like the number one thing I've been trying to find ways to fix, alongside, how I can change from having to hold the microphone all the time and stuff like that. But when I put a lot of time into thinking about what I want to do and how I want to upgrade how I do the podcast, or how I upgrade on how I do certain things. I've never used Ableton. I've never used a different DAW. And, in the past, I've always been interested in trying to make music, but GarageBand was the least, user-friendly. If there's anything made by Apple that hasn't been user-friendly, it's fucking GarageBand. I just don't think it's that user-friendly. And when I first looked at Ableton, it was super complicated at first by looking at all the things. But then I have a lot of friends in the music industry. I have a lot of friends who are artists, a lot of friends who are, producers and people who master tracks and stuff like that. There's people that I know that make such fantastic music, and, it has really led me back to really wanting to learn how. Like, and I want to learn how to play piano and stuff like that. I have a friend who plays piano and stuff like that. Like, all music has been a part of my life for such a long time, and I've talked about it before, how much it means to me. But now that I have a DAW that is a little bit less complicated than GarageBand was for me, I can finally get into it, and I can tap into that field, because there's a lot of, like, it's not lo-fi for the most part. It's more like lo-fi, dance, EDM in general, and just instrumentals really grab my heart, and they pull my heartstrings. I cannot explain it any better way than that. It just tugs on my heartstrings, and I want to make music that tugs on other people's heartstrings, or I want to, in some way express myself in the most natural of ways. And if I can finally find my way through music and I can find myself into that, then that's something. But if it doesn't work out, at least I tried something new. That's how I always see it. I've been struggling with a lot of that decision paralysis lately. I've had a couple conversations with a couple friends on the subject of having so much in my mind, so much I want to do, so much I want to get out of me, but just like not able to choose which one to like jump on. And that has been something that I've had to work through multiple times in my life already. I mean, even when it comes to new ideas for the podcast, and I just think it's like better to just try to find ourselves even in the littlest of ways. Littlest isn't a word, but in the smallest of ways. So what I mean by that is, even if I do something as simple as changing up how I do a certain thing, it helps me figure out more on how I can work. And there's a strength I figured out that I have. One of my strongest strengths, is the fact that I am able to make my best work when I am working through improvisation. When I just trust that I am going at it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if you know what I mean. And for some reason I have so much mucus. This happens all the time. I also just got done with COVID, so I think that could also be a thing. I don't actually know if I had COVID or not, but what I'm going to say is this. I'm trying new stuff. I'm trying to find me in more ways than one. Like, I'm not, like, I remember when I was here in Missouri earlier this year, I remember that it was all about finding myself and going introspective and stuff like that. And because I did that work, and I still have to do that work, I let loose on that for a while. I also, on the last couple of times I've been able to talk about it, haven't meditated often. I haven't stretched often. Personally, I don't know if I'm living the best lifestyle right now. I mean, I'm grateful to be around my family, to be making money, to be able to see the world. But lifestyle-wise, not eating the best, not drinking the most water. I'm out in the sun a lot, and I'm walking in the grass a little bit, but something in me feels like I need to put more effort into it. I take a lot of pride in the fact that I'd like to take care of myself, but the fact that I'm not taking care of myself at the utmost, even though I've came a far way than where I was a year ago. And I was just having a great conversation with another one of my friends, talking about how I can be very hard on myself when it comes to things that I'm doing, or if I'm not reaching certain expectations. It's because as if my expectations are changing for myself every other month or so, every other few months. And it's like I'm beating down on myself as if I don't know it, or as if I did not just learn that having positive self-talk is actually important. I didn't realize that. And I'm starting to notice things about how I view myself. Like in the past, I never really talk about it, and I don't have any sort of actual disclosed information or diagnosis of having anything remotely to this, but I do talk about this subject, and I know people who really care about this subject, and the subject is on eating disorders and our body image, and the mental health we have, how our mental health handles or how we handle the issues we feel from like a lowered mental health compared to how I'm trying to say this is this. When we look ourselves in the mirror and we see something that we don't like, and having this place in our hearts where we don't love ourselves wholeheartedly as we are, and having to seek validation through the outside world, or because of what we see on a daily basis through social media, through what the news or what agendas are being pushed onto us for how we feel we should, look, or how we should feel, or this or that. And I'm someone who doesn't talk about their journey through, loving myself, and, really talking about the moments where I really deal with body shaming myself or having a negative sense of body image. And to some people, dude, you're really skinny, you're not out of shape, you look good. In my mind, I feel like there's things I need to change or something I need to do better. And there's things like, I don't nitpick everything, but there are certain points where I have gone lower, like my vibration has gone lower, and I have now recognized how, I will find these moments where intrusive thoughts come in and say, you don't like how you look. Your body is not, you are out of shape. You need to work out. You're not doing enough. You're eating way too much. You're not this and that, this and that, this and that. That's what I will deal with in moments where I'm at a lower vibration. I'm a little bit depressed, or I'm going through a moment of change, and I'm going through a lot of transformation and change in the moment. So what I could be feeling is just all this cluttered around me, and me feeling like I need to nitpick something and work on something all the time. And I have friends who always bring up the greatest points about how, especially in this society, in this life that we're in this time of life that we're in, it's like we have to find something because of the lifestyle that we are born into, or because of the society we're born into. We have to live thinking we got to do this, do that to meet certain standards, when all we really want to do is just live our life and feel like we're enough as is, rather than feeling like we are nothing and having to work to become something of value, even though we are valued and we are important and that we are enough. Rather, what this or that says, like, we still are enough. But I have a hard time thinking that with the way that I have my lifestyle, and how in the last month and a half into now, I have gone through a little bit of like, I have taken a step back or so, and I'm having to relook at what I'm doing and change my habits. My habits have changed. My habits aren't the same, but they're new, or they are old habits that I fell back on. And, it's the dance. It's the dance to really notice about how, whether we really know it or not, things can change like that. And I'm just very grateful that I'm surrounded by people who aren't worried about that. People who remind us, hey, you're in a place where, you need it. Listen to your body, and your body will tell you if you don't need this. Your body will tell you this. Your body will tell you that. I'm also at a place in my life, where, not even a place in my life, but I'm in a state of consciousness right now where I'm like, I like what I'm doing, but it's not enough. And I'm trying to range between Am I just wanting enough, or am I just wanting more? Am I wanting too much than like where I'm at in my life, where I can currently get? And do I need to lower that into a place where I can start really receiving the things that I'm ready for, rather than just continuing to push forward for the things that are so far away that I'm not technically ready for? It feels like I'm rushing. It feels like I'm just beating down on myself, and it feels like I'm just trying to get to a place because I see other people getting other places. If you need any advice right now, I feel like someone needs to hear this. I feel like I need to hear this. Don't start your day on social media. That is such a constant battle for me. I was just talking to my friend about how the fact, and this is a very important topic, how we can spend so much time on our phones. For me, especially, if I feel like I've been on my phone too much, I will literally try to throw it, keep it away from me, and then moments later, someone important, someone that I'm trying to continue a bond with will reach out, and then I'm stuck doom scrolling again, and I'm stuck doing this, and I'm on my phone again. Makes me not even want to have a phone. But I love connecting with people, so I know I have to beat that, and I have to be able to make better and stronger boundaries surrounding that. So then I'm not going back into these areas where I'm like, oh my God, why am I on my phone? There was a time where my screen time was up to 6 hours on average a day. And I'm like, holy shit, how am I staring at my phone this long? And then I don't know if it happens to anybody else, but as of recently, because of how much screens I've been looking at, it's like my eyes are just constantly crying, or I'm just in a state where like I'm crying and I'm okay, but it's like I'm not feeling sad or happy. It's just like I'm watching TV and I'm crying uncontrollably. I don't know what's going on. It's not like a sense of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad, or a state of like overjoy. But don't get me wrong, I just had a lot of like, I have been crying tears of joy so much, and I'm so grateful for that, because I've been watching a very funny show that I think really gets my humor so well, and that is, it's on Netflix. It's called I Think You Should Leave, with Tim Robinson, and oh my God, it's like my humor in a nutshell. Sketch comedy, crazy shit. Some guy acting so stupid that it's just so funny. And, it's not for everybody, but it's for me, for sure. If they continue that going, I'm going to be very happy. Life here is very peaceful, and life here is very, it really invites you to be easy on yourself and just take it one day at a time. Because when I first got here, that's when when I was coming out here, when I was driving out here, I had caught COVID. I was already like dealing with it 2 days in a row already. And then I drove all the way out here. And it was just, ugh. Just like that. That cough is horrendous. But I have a whole bunch of camping equipment because my friend Neil, and I've been putting up the hammock a lot, so I've been outside a lot. But when I first got here, I was super sick, so I was staying inside. I was laying in bed. I was smoking a lot of weed, and I was just like, where am I going? Where is my clarity? Why is everything so cloudy? What's going on? And I'm just sitting here trying to force the creation of art. Don't get me wrong. I made good stuff while I was sick, and I'm very proud of myself, and I'm proud of the stuff that I'm making, because I'm like, oh my God, thank you very much. Thank you, God. Thank you. And then there's moments where I'm like, why the hell can I just do it when I want to do it? Because there's points in my weeks where I'm like, I want to do this. I want to get it done. And then my motivation's just like, nah, bud, you need to lay down and watch as many movies as possible. Play video games. Be good with doing nothing. But then I start freaking out because I'm like, if I'm not doing nothing, does that make me lazy? And then this whole fight between, no, you're not lazy, you just need rest. But my ADHD and my ego just gets me, dude, my ADHD gets me jumping from one topic to another. Then my ego's like, oh no, you got to be careful here. You got to go. It's like this constant battle. And other people might say, dude, you need to be medicated. And I'd be like, I don't know what. It's just, I work very well through this because of meditation, because of breath work, because of yoga. But I haven't done those. I walk through grass and that grounds me. So when I feel like my head is blowing up into the clouds, I'm just like, I got to get out of here. There's a lot of changes in my lifestyle I could make that could probably ease a lot of this. But because I was sick for 2 weeks, I'm sitting here thinking about all these things I can do because now I'm no longer in a state of not being able to do it. I'm no longer in a state of needing deep rest. I'm now like, dude, go outside, go and start creating stuff. I have a lot of friends who are so creative, and I started getting ideas from some of them. Some of them just started giving me ideas. You're good at this. This is working for you. Here's the thing. I'm grateful for that because, like, one, I'm noticing by what I'm making and what's working. And then my friends are also, these are the people looking out for me. These are the people that I could work with, create more with. I'm very grateful for that because the more relationships I can build and the more we can create together, I just believe in so much that can be made. But I'm just happy that I'm feeling better now. I think I'm out of this whole mindset where I'm not looking good. I'm recognized where I can make changes in my lifestyle, and that will benefit me. And it's less like, oh, this is what I need to do. I'm not this, or I'm not that. I'm not worthy because I'm not in shape like I was months ago. It doesn't work that way. We don't lose our worth all because of we go through the changes and the fluctuations of how we are in life. I will truly believe that I needed a month and a half of not doing the things I was doing while I was here to experience life, to be back here and to just reflect on what I did. I mean, how I think about it is this. I mean, when I got back here and I was able to finally lay down for 2 weeks in a row, I'm sitting here and I'm like, hold up, not even 2 weeks. I'm gonna be honest. It was definitely a week and a half, if at most. Because after the first week I got here, I immediately got to work. But it's like I was in a state where I just needed the rest because I had just gotten done staying out until like midnight, 1, going to bed 2, 3 in the morning. I hadn't done that since 2022. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, whoa, bro, like this is all flashing before my eyes. I'm doing all this, meeting so many amazing people. Like I just had an incredible conversation with my friend Yusuf and my friend Nevin. They were both on the last 2 episodes. That's really cool. Like I got to be able to connect with them. I got to connect with Leonte. Leonte got to be on an episode with me. I am very, very grateful for the community that is being built here. And I'm very grateful for the incredible people that are here enjoying it alongside me because I'm meeting people who want to make change. I'm meeting people who really don't like how things are now and they want to work to make things better. And there's people like Nevin going around teaching us how if there's just a little bit more research, we might be able to understand more things rather than being so afraid of them. I have this conversation a lot with people. People are so scared of drugs, but when you start being around people who are a little bit more experienced and people who understand the importance of, being careful with certain substances and stuff like that, people who are seeing it from a different line of sight rather than seeing things specifically as quote unquote drugs. The more we open our minds, the more we may have more understanding of what is out there and what could benefit us much better rather than just taking what society tells us to take. That conversation with Nevin was just bonkers. Listening back to that, being able to talk to him about that, it was great. I liked that a lot. And Yusuf was a person who, he's still alive, he's still here, but my conversations with Yusuf, they were all so remarkable because they were based around how can we help people, what it is that we're trying to do here, how we can be better to one another. I feel like there was so much in this conversation with Yusuf that didn't get to come out. And that's why we're hoping to be able to come out with another episode, because that would be really cool. There's a lot more insights that we have. We're much more, able to work through it. And it would be great. It would be great to be able to have more conversations with these people. But they were all very beneficial in my time there because they helped me just live life to the fullest. They helped me enjoy everything in the moment as it was, as we should, because being present in these moments help you remember these moments. And I don't want to forget these memories at all. But I'm surrounded by people who are worried about taking care of themselves, growing, trying to work together, trying to, make life easier for other people, and just trying to care for one another. And I'm very grateful for that incredible community that's being formed. I think it's going to go great. It's going to go to great places. But the more that we dive deep into, how we're responding, how we are taking care of ourselves, like I said, instead of seeing myself as making mistakes on how I'm taking care of myself, I just take little pins and I put pins into places where I think I can work on it. And for me, while I've been here, that was, trying to be proud of myself for how far I've come and how much I've done. That podcast is almost a year old, and that's pretty crazy considering how much I go between doubt and belief with this thing. And, a lot of people just tell me, you know what you're doing. Just keep on going. And what else can I do but listen to that? Because I'm just like, you're right. And then there's moments like today or yesterday, I'm sitting on the phone with Sierra and I'm like, Sierra, I'm motivated with the podcast, but I just don't know what it is anymore. Like, what is this? And she goes, dude, you're going through so much. You're changing. And it's okay to allow the podcast or allow other areas of my life and what kind of art I make change. You got to have that. And I think that's what's so cool about being a mosaic and how we're artistic in our own ways. Whether or not you find yourself artistic or not, it's that source of light that stems from within us and how we bring it to the world. It's pretty interesting how we can figure it out like that when we just need to chill and we just need to take our hands off the wheel and let go. That is a huge topic in my life. Let go. And I'm getting a lot better at it, and I could still get even better at it because, there's points in our lives where we try to be so damn controlling over everything that happens that we fucking forget that we are literally not in control of it. All we can do is just make the minor choices that are going to lead us towards what we feel is the right place. Whether or not, you're someone who believes in following your feelings or not, because I know there's a lot of people that would tell me, dude, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't base your decisions solely on feeling. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I understand what you mean. I agree with you, but that's one of my main ways. Like, that is one of my main ways. It's how I connect. It's how I know if I'm in a good place. It's how I know if I'm somewhere that I'm meant to be. It's how I know if I'm getting something that I need out of it or if not. Like, if I go to the wrong house and I just get shown really shitty individuals that don't who clearly don't have common decency, I'm sitting here, I'm like, why am I here if I'm not meant to be here? I would leave because I understand that is a boundary I'm not going to cross. I'm not going to hang around people solely because I'm not trying to miss out on something. If I don't connect with people and there are people who do not align with my morals, my values and stuff like that, I gotta hightail it out of there, because if I don't, it's not going to benefit me. It's only going to bring me down. Something I've learned. This is a little bit of everything, but I'm definitely going to say it's important to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and to love yourself as you are. And if you feel that there's a change, do what you can to bring more benefits to your life, not solely because it's what other people are going to like or what other people think of you. Do it because you want to feel good. Take what I'm saying out of it's experience. I'm going off of what I've experienced. I've gone off of what's happened in my life. And like I said, never been diagnosed with an eating disorder, but in my life, have I chosen to not eat because I wanted to stay a specific body type? Yes. Did I get diagnosed? Did I not get diagnosed, but did I also like really struggle with how I looked based on, by how much I ate or what I was eating or yada, yada, this or that? It may not even be something that far. It could just be that I was being extreme and I was just letting external validation control how I was taking care of myself. But that's the point of this, is to be vulnerable and talk about it, because not a lot of people talk about that. And that's something I've dealt with. And there is another thing that's been on my mind. It's a completely different topic, but I just recently saw an article about Kid Rock drinking a Bud Light. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if something was just made like that and it's just brought up to the news. But if there was a group of people out there that do believe that he's like a hypocrite and he's just out here, one thing that came to my mind as I was, getting ready just today, it popped in my head and I was like, wow, this is actually a really good thing to talk about. And I was thinking about how conglomerates, there are people out there that probably believe this, and I'm not saying I do believe this, but I'm saying this is probably a very likely probable thing. There is this belief out there that conglomerates are what control our economy. Conglomerates obviously control the economy, but conglomerates also control how laws go in place and what happens here and what happens there. They're basically paying off everybody, like a conspiracy or something. But I had this thought: what if conglomerates are trying to obviously just flood their own agendas onto the world, and what they do is they use their products as a means to bring this out? And like how Bud Light did its thing, obviously Bud Light worked with don't know if I can even talk about this right now because of this fact. Like I forget her name, but because of what was going on with Bud Light, Kid Rock's answer was to shoot up an entire pack of Bud Light with a machine gun right there in the backyard. My question there was like, what fueled you into thinking that that was the right way of promoting how you felt? But if that's how you wanted to do it, okay. But if he actually drank a Bud Light and people are like, dude, you're such a hypocrite, it really matters on if someone can open up and say, yeah, I'm a hypocrite. Yeah, you're right. I did this and yada, yada, yada. But what I think is the main point is conglomerates just put us to pin us one another. They try to pin us against one another. So, how both sides of the political coin, you got this side that's going to be all about their agenda and one side about all of their agenda. Conglomerates who are trying to force these agendas into society already, using their products as a means to turn people against one another, i.e. Anheuser-Busch doing what they did and what sparked the whole controversy in the first place, using that as a means to gain more traction. Conglomerates are just trying to use the products as a means to get in the way. They're trying to market it, trying to make it some sort of thing like, oh, this is good because we can make money off of it. Just trying to add to the whole capitalistic lifestyle that's already here, forcing this idea. This could be a huge rant. This could be just going on like a huge tangent. But like how conglomerates use us and their products to pin us against one another, to just continue to spark fight and hate against one another solely because of our differences, solely because we think different, solely because our morals or values are different from one another. I would not say it's far off. I'd say it's definitely a plausible thing. I believe that if conglomerates wanted to continue to control how determined we are to be against one another because of what we think is true and how it can be different from one another, I think that would be a huge way to weaponize the entire, like, I think that is a way that they use to really just cause more hate. And this could be jumbled up, and this could be like, oh, yada, because the way I'm hearing it right now, I'm just like, God, can you get it all out? But it's not far off, in my opinion, that conglomerates can pin us against one another because they are trying to find traction with how they can pin their products to a specific group of people or community solely just to get more people a part of their product. I don't like that. I feel like that's just using people solely on who they are as a means just to get more, it's like how you get your brand out. But I feel like there can be a better way to get your brand out than just trying to use certain groups of people as a means to get more light. And I think that's where you get really fickle in it. And this could be completely wrong. So I invite you to give me your opinion and to talk to me about this, because even if I'm wrong, I would like to hear your opinion. What do you think they do? What the fuck do you think people are trying to do behind our damn, like what are people trying to do behind our backs? It's like what people thought. It's like how people thought a massive laser shot down on Maui. If the government did that, I would lose my shit. Did it though? I have no idea. There are certain conspiracy theories that I'll stand by, but then there's other ones I'm just like, what the? I don't know if I believe this. But no, that is like, these are the things that are on my mind. How are people trying to control us? Why are people trying to pin us against one another? Why am I so damn worried about how I look, besides the fact I just want to be healthy? And then instead of beating down on myself for not creating a whole shitload besides everything I already have piled up already in my locker of things I've made, it's like, dude, look at how much you've done. Look at what you're doing right now. Look at what you're going through, and look at what's happening around you. You got so much shit going on. You might as well just live your life and try to enjoy it while all this other shit's happening. And I think that's what I forget. And that's like what Sierra has to remind me, dude, you're living, go live. And then my friend Emma, dude, you got all this going on inside you. You don't know what to do. Just pick something, do it, put it down and get it done. And then Emma will say, and if you have a hard time putting out, just be a sponge and take in. I'm like, holy shit. Even though, like I said, I'm watching movie after movie and watching TV show after TV show, playing video games, gluing my eyes to a fucking screen. Not all day, obviously, but, I'm missing time outside for sure. But I really do enjoy that hammock. And I have this, tent-like structure that my friend Neil gave me that I can put over. If it rains, I can sit out and not get hit by rain. Dude, I'm seeing all these people who are hiking now and people going out, and I'm just like, dude, I have all these trips planned. I have all these trips planned for this year, and I am very excited to be able to bring it to everybody's, view. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of plans, but right now, being in the moment, being able to spend time with my family and possibly, be able to go and meet new people, go and see new places with new people, it would be very nice. But the time here, about 2-3 weeks now, almost, I'm liking it very much. It's different. Like I always say, Florida and Missouri are so different. Missouri is very peaceful. I don't know why I took a break in that. It's very peaceful. It's very calming. Like I said, it invites you to take your time, go with the flow. It's hot as hell here right now. I don't know what happened last week and so. We had rain, so we had a lot of cool days, cool mornings, like autumn weather coming in. It was awesome. And now we're hit with heat index of 110, 115. And I'm like, yay, great. It was really hot the other day, but I was able to sit out and get as much time as I needed in the sun. And then I got to spend some time inside. anyone, I want to put this out. Anyone who needs anyone to talk to listen, and to just have someone there, just started this new thing. It's on my link tree that I put into the bio here, and I put into the section to read about the or in the description. Check down the description, go to Linktree. There's this site at the very top of my Linktree now that's called Calendly, where you can set up a meeting with me. It literally says, set up a meeting with me. And you can set up something with me. Doesn't even have to be something to talk to somebody. If you're trying to meet new people and try to possibly go and travel around the country, and you're just trying to meet some new people, you see that I'm a podcaster who likes to travel, go on Calendly, go there on my link tree. You hit the first tab that you can see, start a meeting with me, and it'll give you a time where you can call me, and we'll just get on the phone, or we'll get on FaceTime, or we'll get on a Zoom call or something, and we can discuss like what we want to do, or just hang out with one another, get to know one another a little bit, and then we could plan on doing that. I trying to connect with as many people as I can. I'm trying to find, my chosen family. So these are the things that have been on my mind. These are the things that I've been going through, dealing with, especially with the whole creative process. I have so many videos made. I have so many little ideas written down. I have so much. But it's like the decision on what I can do, or like, can I get up? It's like that paralysis I enter is like, is this really what I'm trying to get out? It's interesting, it's weird, but I really enjoy this. I still enjoy this. I love doing this. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to be able to sit down and talk about it, because I get so worried about all this stuff. I get so worried about how it's going to come out and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I just have to sit down. And I'm really cool that I got to work on Ableton. That's another thing, in this. I've already forgotten that I went on Ableton and I figured out how to get my microphone set up. I have completely figured out how I can have this worked out for me, so then I can start making music and stuff like that. And I can go and get a keyboard that has a MIDI connector, and I can just fucking make some baller ass music. I would really like that. That would be sick. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what goes down. I don't know. I'm just happy that I actually got to sit down and do this. I'm going to be completely honest and be upfront with a lot of people. The podcast has definitely been something on my mind that I have just been so back and forth on. It's like, is this getting out what I need to get out? Is this what I'm doing? Is this... And people just tell me, just let loose and let it be what it is. And, there's people that are just out doing podcasts just to, get big and stuff like that. If your only idea of doing something like this is just to get somewhere else, and I'm enjoying this part. There was a portion when I first got into the podcast where I did not like hearing my voice. And every single time I kept on hearing that thought in my mind, oh my gosh, I did not like hearing my voice. I would get this thought, like challenge back at it. And it would be like, well, if you can't listen to your voice, how are you going to do this? And I was just like, damn, you're right. So I got to get through it. And then over time, I just started listening to my voice and just started listening and listening and listening. Even all the times where I'm listening back and I'm like, dude, you sound fucking crazy. You sound like you don't even know what you got going on in your head. In which somebody would say, dude, are you medicated? No. Unless you count medical marijuana, that's medicated. It's still medication. Very grateful that I have this opportunity. I'm very grateful for what is to come. And I'm grateful that all of you are here with me in this community. And I'm so grateful that you want to be a part of the community. You hear what I'm saying, you're like, I fuck with what you're saying. I fuck with what y'all are saying, even though you guys aren't sending in voice messages. Send in voice messages. Send in voice messages. Start talking. Let's start building up. Like, well, let's talk about something. I want to start seeing what you guys have to say. I like to see what you guys think of what's going on. Yes. I think this is a perfect area to be grateful that that you're alive and that you get to experience life and everything that it has to offer. Very grateful for the connection with other people and being able to build. But with that, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful evening, and a wonderful night.